Hi friends, and welcome back to Web3Weirdos. Today we're talking all about NFTs, breaking down everything you need to know about them, where you're gonna find them, and how you're gonna buy them. Once again, I'm your host, Angie I Don't Know, aka Angie, and if you are enjoying this video series or just enjoying me, you can go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button to encourage me to keep going with this series. Okay, first things first, what in the world is an NFT? So NFTs, aka non-fungible tokens, are digital assets that are stored on blockchain. So non-fungible just basically means that it cannot be interchanged with any other goods of similar value because no other goods of similar value exist. For example, if I have a $1 bill, a US $1 bill, I can trade it for any other US $1 bill because $1 is $1 here. But if I have a custom painting from an artist and you have a custom painting from the same artist, we can't just swap paintings because my painting has different properties than your painting and your painting has different properties than my painting. So inherently each painting is unique. You can think of NFTs like that. Each NFT is inherently unique with different properties. You can kind of think of them like a fingerprint, and they can be used to authenticate ownership of digital assets stored on the blockchain. So if you hear someone say on-chain, they just mean it's recorded on the blockchain. If you ever want to see what that blockchain transactional history looks like, you can go look at something like a block explorer, which is a fancy way of saying a transactional history that is updated in real time. And so Etherscan is a block explorer that you can check out, and you can literally click on an asset and see who created it, what was the price of it, when it got sold, how many times it changed hands, where it lives now, what the value is, etc. So each NFT created also uses smart contract technology, which just basically enables the network to store the transactional data of the NFT and make sure that it's immutable, which just basically means nobody can go in and change it. A super cool thing about smart contracts that I really like is that the creators can actually build the smart contract to ensure that no matter how many times the good is sold or resold, they can continue getting paid for what they created. AKA they have equity forever in the good that they brought into the world. If you think of like Taylor Swift, you know how she recently re-recorded the first, 5 albums that she ever created because her prior manager sold her masters? Yeah, so with a smart contract, that literally would never be an issue because she could have created her music and programmed her ownership into it at the beginning and would have never had to deal with all of that mishaps in the end. So when you think about it from a creator perspective, it is incredibly powerful. It's also probably going to change the music game as a whole. We are barely at the tip of the iceberg of what NFTs can do. And you can almost think about NFTs today like dial-up internet of the past. You know what I mean? Like it's slow, it's clunky, it's not super ideal. People are picking up the phone and disconnecting us, but we're not just going to throw internet out the window. We're going to fix it the way we did. And now today, you look at the internet and you're like, what would we do without it? So NFTs are kind of in that same exact stage. That is the trajectory that we're moving in. Currently, NFTs are pretty much being used to sell every type of good you could think of. I actually read online that somebody minted their memories on chain and sold them as an NFT. To mint something just basically means to put it on chain. And so generally when somebody creates an NFT collection, the first time that NFT is recorded on chain is during the minting. When it's resold on secondary platforms, we don't call that minting because it's already been minted and recorded on chain the first time. But like profile pictures, cool VR pets, like tweet collections, things like that. That's like the really fun stuff about NFTs. Those are the things that people are getting hype about. That's the stuff that you find in the news. But what people aren't really talking about are the real world implications and the ways that NFTs can actually disrupt our daily life. So let me break down a couple examples of how I'm thinking about it. And it's funny because when I was putting together this episode, I started seeing news articles popping up in real time of some of the things that I'm talking about. It's happening. It's literally happening right now, even though we're still in the early stages. So think about like going to a concert, and one of the first things you do is you go to the merch booth and you want to buy that t-shirt, that hat, that pin, whatever that says, I was here, I was a fan of the band, it was a great time, you're going to wear that t-shirt. at the next 10 concerts you go to signal to everyone like, I'm cool. But what happens when the artist decides to forgo physical merchandise and adopt digital merchandise in the form of NFTs? And so now, instead of leaving the concert with that super cute beanie, you're gonna actually leave the concert with a digital NFT in your digital wallet. And that's just how it is, because people are like, NFTs are cool. Or what happens when like major retailers like Nike decide to leverage the creator community to sell more merch with NFTs? And so as I was writing it, Adidas just announced that they were going into the metaverse with Bored Ape Yacht Club, and they are actually doing an NFT drop, which if you buy the NFT, it's gonna unlock early access to physical merchandise that nobody else is gonna have access to. So we're literally seeing it happen already. In order to even have access, you need to be part of the early access, aka you needed to buy the NFT access token. But think about how that's gonna disrupt shopping, retail as a whole, creator collaborations. Another thing we're already seeing with NFTs is that they're acting as community access tokens. And so again, I mentioned Bored Ape Yacht Club a lot because it's one of the most successful communities that has done a drop with an NFT and built a substantial following. But basically, in order to get into that club, I need the NFT. And if I don't have the NFT, I can't get in. There's literally no way for me to join. And so while that's a social club, what happens when there are professional communities, networking communities, hobbyist communities? You know, I'm trying to grow in my career and there's a community club and I actually can't get in unless I buy the access token. So now a lot of communities are becoming more private and more gated. In order to join, you need the token. And so that's going to change the landscape of how people communicate with each other as well as how people network. Another one I keep thinking about, and I'm already seeing it happen, is politics, okay? Politics and NFTs, which is something I never knew would happen, but always had a suspicion about. Okay, so today, young people are not jumping to give their money to political campaigns and candidates. But what happens when candidates and campaigns start offering limited edition NFT collections with celebrities or other influencers to pool funds and raise money for their specific campaign? So think of it this way, because I just saw this happen in the news. Melania Trump is launching her own NFT platform, not just collection, her own NFT platform, where she's going to be creating different NFT collections and selling them and raising funds. And who knows what she's going to be doing with those funds, because unlike a DAO, the NFTs don't have to be community owned or governed. And so she can do whatever she wants with that money. We're already seeing it happen today. The money raised from those NFTs are going to be used for political gains. And again, it's like super cool because anybody could do that, but because anybody can do that, it could go positive or it could go south real fast. And so we have to think about how people are going to be using this to change the landscape of what is being done in the world today. Okay. With that scary and exciting thought though, you're probably wondering, okay, Angie, how do I get my hands on some NFTs? How do I get into this space? Because it's moving ahead with or without me. And you are absolutely right. It is moving ahead with or without you. So NFTs exist on a ton of different places. I'm going to break it down. The first place that NFTs exist are basically just on the creators' platforms. So for example, I just bought the Crypto Coven NFTs and they were minted directly on the Crypto Coven website. So I follow them on Twitter, I joined their Discord, they shared the link, I went to their website as soon as it dropped, and think of them as like concert ticket releases. Like as soon as that 10 a.m. hits or whenever the drop is, you better be at your computer and ready to click that mint button. So you go to the website, you click the mint button, you connect your wallet, then you go ahead and approve the transaction and voila, it appears in your wallet and you are now the owner of that NFT. Another way NFT creators sometimes sell theirs is by selling it directly on a marketplace. So if you've Googled NFTs, you've probably come across something like OpenSea, or Magic Eden, and those are basically secondary marketplaces where NFTs are sold. So another NFT I minted this week was BitBrawl, and they minted directly on Magic Eden. And I will continuously say the Discords are so important because there are a lot of scammers in the NFT space, just like any other space online. You want to make sure you get the link directly from the creator. The creators are becoming increasingly more private with their drops because there's so much hype in the space. You're getting a lot of bots that are popping up and buying the NFTs, just like with concert tickets. You're getting a lot of people who are there just to resell the good. And so they're buying it fast, selling it even faster, messing up the floor price, and then the community is kind of shaken. So something that a lot of creators are doing are whitelisting their NFTs before the sale. And that basically means they're creating a RSVP list to purchase the goods. And the way you get on the whitelist is you usually add your wallet ID. And so that way people know, okay, once you connect this wallet, it's verified on the back end, you have access to mint this and nobody else does. That's stuff that they're only gonna share in the Discord. So another really great place to find upcoming NFT collections is Twitter, of course. You know I'm gonna plug Twitter every chance I can get because that is where people are talking about it. And so usually creators as well as other enthusiasts in the space are going to share about new collections that are coming out. They're gonna say why they're hyped for it. Okay, I'm not gonna get too into the specifics about how to buy the NFTs. I'm gonna link some really clear guidelines below because it changes a little depending on the chain. But the overall theory is that in order to buy the NFT, you need some crypto. And in order to buy some crypto, you need to buy it on an exchange. To get started, I always recommend people just use Coinbase because it pretty much carries every coin. You can create an account easily, you can verify your account quickly. The transaction fees on Coinbase are a little higher than a lot of other platforms, but it is super accessible for the non-technical person. Once you buy your coins, you're gonna need a wallet. There are a ton of different wallets in the space, and you're gonna learn again very quickly that certain wallets only hold certain coins. And so you might have multiple wallets. I pretty much only work in Ethereum and Solana right now. So for Ethereum, I have a MetaMask wallet. For Solana, I have a Phantom wallet. When I'm buying Solana, I usually buy it on Coinbase or Binance. If I'm using Ethereum, I usually buy it on Gemini. And again, I'm gonna link all of that below, and so don't get super confused about it. Okay, that was a lot of information, but I hope you're excited about NFTs. I know I am. And in terms of next steps, I think you should go ahead and get your first wallet set up. I'm gonna go ahead and put some guides down below and then maybe browse some of the marketplaces. You don't have to buy anything, but just browse them. You're gonna wanna start familiarizing yourself so you don't just start buying everything, because let me tell you, you're gonna need to set a budget. NFTs are gonna eat up your wallet so fast. And if you want to meet some more people that are kind of at the same stage as you, I did go ahead and set up a Discord channel for Web3Weirdos where I'm sharing a ton of links. We're just having open conversation. Feel free to join. If you are not already following me on Twitter, go ahead and do that as well. I'm Angie, I don't know, on Twitter. Thanks again for joining me for another episode of Web3Weirdos. Again, if you liked it, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe so I continue making these videos, and I will see you here next week.